People, hey, we're on page 434, coming at you
434.
here with the 8.3 key concepts. Bam, volume of a cone. How is the volume of a cone related to that of a cylinder? Let's just say if they have the same height and radius, the cone is blank the volume of the cylinder. Lots of writing there, folks. What goes in the blank? So if we have a cone and a cylinder, they have the same height and radius. The cone is blank the volume of the cylinder. That's right. Somebody said 1/3. Okay? Perfect. Okay. Second question, what dimensions do you need to find the volume of a cone?
2 things.
Yeah, what 2 things do we need, folks?
Same thing for a cylinder.
Yeah, we've got to have the R, which is the radius, and the H, which is the height. Okay? Once I know those 2 things, the formula will take care of itself. Okay?
Kind of like making Kool-Aid. Got to have the mix, and you got to have the water, and you got to have the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it takes care of itself.
If you know a cone's radius, and you know a cone's slant height, okay, so I'm drawing a cylinder. There's my cone, all right? So if we know the radius equals 4, okay? And we know the slant height, right? I'll just say, hey, slant height is 12, okay? What must you do before you can find the volume? Do you even need to? Don't you have both things that you need?
Nope.
No, guys, remember, if I'm given this dimension and this dimension, right, I want the height. So we have to use Pythagorean theorem, right, to find the height. So use the PT, Pythagorean theorem, to find height. Bam. Good work. All right, those were our thinking questions. On to the doing questions, as I like to say. Okie dokie. Wanda found a cone-shaped seashell on the beach with those dimensions. What is the volume? What is the volume? Okay, so if we're going to use a formula, write it out. Volume equals 1/3. The book says base times height, right? That's fine. The base it's referring to is the area of the base, right? So the area of the base is a circle, so that's pi times the radius squared. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. We're multiplying all of them together. They tell me to use 22/7 for pi. Okay, so that means this number turns into 22/7. 1/3 can just stay 1/3. R, what number am I using for R? Yep, we're using 8, so 8 squared. What number are we using for H? You guessed it, 63. All right? We're literally just going to throw all of that into your calculator, guys. All right? We talked about it the other day. Doesn't matter what order we multiply all these numbers in, we're still going to get the same thing. That's going to be that number and a 63. I get that number right there. 4,224. 4,224. We are in cubic millimeters. There you go. Okay. If you didn't get this number, guys, you got to ask. Ask somebody, right? Use your calculating device appropriately. Any questions on 4? I didn't think so. Here we go. What is the volume of the cone? Estimate using 3.14 for pi. So we're using a different approximation for pi. Volume equals 1/3 times pi r squared h. All right, let's plug in what we know. So I've got my picture over here. So we're going to plug in everything that we need. So 1/3 is good. They told me to use 3.14 for pi. Radius. Oh, I do not have a radius.
Oh, no.
I do have a height, though, right? So, okay, so we can leave the radius open. We'll figure that out here in a second. The height is what? Is the height 40 or 41? One of those is the height. One of those is the slant height. Remember, Mr. Earl talked about it being on the angle is the slant height. So my height of this cone is 40. Right, now we got to figure out the radius, folks. Radius appears to be a leg of this right triangle. Here is 40. Here is 41. We've got to solve for that. I don't care what letters of the alphabet you use, but we know that these are the two. Look here, bam. We know these are my two legs. This is my hypotenuse. So if we go a squared plus 40 squared has to equal 41 squared. All right. We can figure out what numbers these are. A squared plus, that should be 1600. That's going to be 1681 because I'm awesome at math. Get another 0 there. A squared equals 81. Right? We're going to subtract that over there. Apply the square root to both sides here. So I want the square root of 81. Is that a good number? It is in my book, right? That's the number 9. So plug 9 in here for your radius. Radius squared. There we go. So if you guys were wondering, we just had to find the radius here. Right? Now my formula is going to take care of the rest of this. All right, so 1/3 has not changed. Times pi times 9 squared times 40. I got the feeling this is going to be a large number. Yeah, there you go. 3,391.2 cubic millimeters. Boom. Any questions? Okay, on we go. There you go, number 6. Beautiful. What is the volume of the cone? Again, more volume. I feel like this is great. Okay, we know that. Once again, look, I don't have much room. I'm just going to write this up here. Volume equals 1/3 times pi times the radius squared times the height. Right? I always just like to start my problem. Mr. Noel's probably different because he doesn't want to do anything that I do. Right? I like to start by plugging in everything I know, and then I'll figure out if I know everything, we'll solve it, and if I don't, then I'll try to figure out what we don't know. I know the circumference is that, and from my picture, I have this 2.7 dimension. So 2.7, what letter should that go in for? H. Yeah, that's my height, okay? So this is going to be 2.7. Okay, it wants to know the volumes in terms of pi. So we're not going to use anything for pi. Okay, 1/3 is just cool. That's still 1/3. So once again, I need this radius number, right? Okay, so I must be able to work backwards. And it says the circumference is 1.4 pi feet. So circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. Okay? Use your formula sheet, page 21, if you need a refresher there. And it's telling me, hey, 1.4 pi feet is the circumference, right? So 1.4 pi is this. Okay? Look, guys, check this out. I just need to know what r is. Solve this equation for r. So let's just divide by this 2 pi number. Divide by 2 pi. Divide by 2 pi. Okay? Again, what's pi divided by pi? Well, it just goes away. It's 1. What's 1.4 divided by 2? That's 0.7, if I did my math right. 0.7 equals, right? All that goes away, equals my radius. That's the number I need, 0.7. Again, make sure we have the 2 right numbers for radius and height, guys. Let your calculator do all of the hard work. So we're going to take, let's see, 1/3. We're not multiplying it by pi. Remember, we're going to leave this in terms of pi. I'm going to take 0.7, square that, multiplied by 2.7. I get, enter. I get, not a great number, 0.441. That's my volume, though. Volume equals 0.441 pi cubic. No, I'm looking at 5, 6. We are in cubic feet. Whew, somebody was going to yell at me for that, okay? So there you go, guys. Write the formula out, plug in what you know. If you don't have everything you want, they've got to give you other information for you to figure out whether it's the radius or the height, okay? Good luck.